to find properties. I could have made this chart, 100 items long. Craigslist, auction.com, whatever. Drive around the areas that you like, okay? Look for FSBOs. They're all over the place. You can find them online. I call it driving for dollars, right? I drive around neighborhoods that I want to invest in. I look for properties that look really old. Maybe somebody who's elderly is living in there, and they're not going to be, maybe they're going to be moving soon. Maybe they are looking to sell. Maybe they want to move to Florida. I'll look for properties like that. I'll look for things that look like they might be heading to foreclosure. I look for anything that sticks out and says, there's a place where I could probably do a deal. And I run across a lot of, I'm telling you, I actually drive around and knock on doors, and I do this kind of stuff, okay? And people will, people say, well, what are you, a salesman? I said, no, I'm a buysman. I'm not selling anything, I'm buying. Have fun with it, man. I get thrown off of somebody's porch about once a week, but it adds, a little bit of excitement to an otherwise dull day of being a real estate guy. Mailmen. This is a killer tip right here, okay? You see a mailman, stop the car, get out, say, hey man, I'm looking to buy houses in this neighborhood. Do you know of any possible houses that I could acquire in this neighborhood? I'll bet you right now $20 that not only does he know them, he's got the addresses off the top of his head. 123 Oak Lane, 327 Maple, 247. Oh, you're gonna hold it, dude. I gotta get a pen. All right? These guys, they know everything. Okay, they know where all the deals are, and you can offer them a commission. I pay them $500 for any deal that becomes a real deal for me. All right, it's a great way. I'm not paying them anything unless I do a deal. Okay, almost free way. You can advertise. All right, you can put it on whatever, shirts, flyers, whatever. Have a car sign on your car door. Have business cards. Have flyers. Use bandit signs. Buy lists. You can buy lists and direct market to. See, even he's getting excited about it. Buy lists of areas that you're interested in. Just use your imagination. It's so easy. Say you want to do a seller finance deal. Go buy a list of free and clear houses. What's so hard about that? It's easy. What I call the drip list. When I see a house, okay, I write down all the addresses as I'm driving around doing this, and then I put all those houses on what I call drip list. And I'll call those houses, I'll search public records, try to find out who owns it, and I'll drop marketing to it, like drip them. I'm just going to drip another one, here's another one, here's another one. I keep bothering them for years with the hopes that I'm going to ultimately buy their house. Okay, so I find somebody who has a house that's not for sale. What am I going to do? Real simple. I'm spelling it all out for you here. Some of you experienced investors will know this stuff, and you newbies, maybe you haven't thought of it, maybe you have, okay? Real simple. If the house is free and clear, what do? It's a seller finance deal, okay? You sit down with them, and you try to find out what it is. Don't just go and say, how much are you selling this house for? Why are you selling this house? Oh, you want to move to Florida? And what are you going to live in when you're down there? And how much down money you're going to need to buy that $200,000 condo? And really, so for 50 grand, you would make the move. But you just can't sell your house right now. Find out what it is that's important to them, and then give them what they want. What I often do in these kind of situations is I'll find a lot of people who've got a number in their head. They want this number for their house. They want this number. It doesn't matter that their number is not realistic. It doesn't matter that the neighborhood's selling for $200 and they want $250. But if they own their house free and clear, guess what? I can give them $250. I'm going to give them $250. Okay, I'll buy your house for $250. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to structure the payments in a way that I want them. So it's their price, but it's my terms, okay? I know what I can rent that house for. I know what the taxes are. I know what the utilities are. And I can ask for a payment that will allow me to safely get into that house. And I always use 0% interest. And that way, Any of you who have a mortgage payment, you're paying your $1,000 mortgage payment, and what, $47 is going off towards the principal? Well, on a 0% interest loan, 100% of the payment goes to principal. So it's a beautiful thing. People who are selling their houses often stop and go, well, wait a minute, I'm not going to give you a loan at 0% interest. I said, who asked you for a loan? I'm not asking for a loan. I said, if you got money to loan, I do work with private investors who lend money, but I'm not asking for a loan. I'm offering you terms to buy your house. This is a beautiful thing. I mean, if you just imagine if you had 10 houses you're paying $1,000 a month on, and it's 0% interest, your net worth is going up $10,000 a month. Okay? I mean, I wouldn't mind putting that on the equity tracking chart each month. I'll tell you, I'm okay with doing that. This is a financing business. It's not bricks and sticks. It's financing. You got to have some knowledge of this and understand this kind of stuff because it's a great way to do deals. All right, suppose the house is bank owned, okay? The only way you're really going to buy those is low ball cash offers. So you go to your private investors, you low ball cash offer the house, and there's a lot of people out there doing that, but you'll get some great deals that way. So I use my private money guys to low ball bank owned properties. Let's just say the house has an existing loan. Like the whole world right now, how many people are out there? They're upside down on their properties. So what do you do with them? You try to take over their mortgage subject to. You get a lot of objections when you try to do that because people don't understand it, their realtors don't understand it, their attorneys don't understand it, their parents don't understand it. They all ask you the same question, what about the due on sale clause? But, without getting into all the details of a subject to loan tonight, it's a great strategy, it's a legal strategy. You should learn about it because it'll work today. So no matter, the point I'm getting to all this is, no matter what house I find, he's going to be one of these scenarios, okay? He's going to be one of these. It's going to be, maybe it's a bank-owned property, maybe it's free and clear, maybe it's got a loan I can take subject to. Most of the time what happens is I use a combination of both of these things. So maybe the guy's got a $200,000 house with a $75,000 loan, but he's still got equity in it. I'll take over the $75,000 loan subject to, and I'll do seller finance for the rest of it. Or maybe I'll bring in a private investor to pay off his $75,000 loan, and I'll get him to seller finance the rest of it. Or whatever. You use combinations of these things. As you do it more and more, you get better at it. What do you do if the guy's upside down? You
short sale.
You short it. You short the house, of course. It's easy, right? If you're not sure what to do with the house, if you're not sure whether or not you're going to short it, or if you can wholesale it to somebody, or whatever you're going to do with it, you can always try to get an option on it. Ask for an option for 60 days so I can figure out what I want to do with this thing. Okay? I know a guy years ago who used to go around and do nothing but get options. And then he would run around like crazy and try to sell them to other investors. And he would write himself in 10 or 15% of every deal he did. This guy owned millions of dollars in real estate and he never did anything. He never owned anything except a small piece of all these deals that he sold to other people. Sheriff sales. I go to sheriff sales a lot, but I usually don't buy stuff there. I have bought stuff there, but I usually don't. I go there for information. I want to sit in that room and I want to watch what the most experienced investors in my neighborhood are willing to pay for a house. That's critical information to me because I already know what I want to pay for it, but it helps me to feel good about the decisions that I'm making buying houses when I see guys that have my level of experience willing to pay the same price. So sheriff sales are great for that. You also get to find out what the bank's willing to take for these properties. So you begin to set, what are investors' entry level price at? What are banks willing to let these houses go for? So sheriff sales are great information. You got to go there. Stop flipping. I have stopped flipping. Now, a major source of my income that I live off of comes from my portfolio. But I always supplemented my portfolio's income by flipping. So if I'm going to ditch flipping, I'm going to have a little bit of a cash crisis. So but I believe that I want to hold everything I can because I want to be sitting